Hi. Can you hear me now? I was muted. It was probably for the best. Hi everyone, we are going to be streaming today on Facebook as well. We don't usually do the demo drop on Facebook. I don't know why, but we might do. If we get a lot of interesting and helpful feedback, we will. It's a bit of a Facebook can be a bit people can be a bit rude on Facebook. Oh, hang on. I've moved my camera again. There, that's better. Hi Ferg, hi Ben. Hi Deckheads. Or Deckhead. And easily offended, yeah. Thank you, Rickstar. I appreciate that. If you are over on Facebook, please consider coming over to Twitch. Now, I know a lot of you you like your Facebook lives, but there's a few things. Audio, very, very important. It skips and it stutters a lot. If that is happening, then just refresh and also change the setting to a lower setting, because a lot of you will be watching this on your phones. If you've got a bad connection, I'll sound like a chipmunk probably. But yeah, get yourselves over to Twitch. Twitch is a lot more fun. But, you know, I know that a lot of you do enjoy Facebook, and I really want the demo drop to get out to as many people as possible. I think it's a very helpful show for up-and-coming producers and established producers as well. If you haven't watched the show before, basically we listen to your music that you've made. So it can be original work, it can be a remix, not a mashup. I'm not bothered if you've like got 2 tracks and spliced them together. That's great. But we're looking more at people who are actively putting in the effort, making their own music, in however and whatever genre that is as well. We don't care what genre it is. We'll listen to anything. Yeah, and we geek out about plugins. What was I looking at earlier? Okay, I was looking at an AI. It's called AI Test Kitchen. So it's like an AI for many, many things, but it's got like a music one on it. Now this is a very double-edged sword, the world of AI, but we have to embrace it because we're not getting rid of it. It's been around for a while. It's just come to the forefront now. So I wonder if I can share my screen with you. Just put a browser source on. Let's see if this works and then interact with it. Okay, let me just see if I can. It's gonna look dodgy, this, but it's just to give you an idea of what I'm on about. So I'm gonna sign in. What? I'm not signing in. I'm not signing in. I can't be bothered to do that. But what I can be bothered to do is just I'll play it because it needs me to sign in when I open up a browser source on OBS. I know it wants me to do it here as well, but there's loads of them. I'd love to know in the chat what you guys think about AI and its uses in music. Really, I want to know what your thoughts are on it. If you're for it, if you're against it, if you're scared of it, you know, be honest. Oh, it's not even available yet. Okay, well, I've signed up for it. So basically, you just put some prompts in. So on this one, it says lo-fi jazz for a quiet rainy day, influences from R&B, influences from. So you can put like. You put in lots of descriptive words. If anyone's ever used like Midjourney or anything like that to create images, then it's kind of the same principle as that. So you put in your prompts, and for this one that's already in here, lo-fi jazz for a quiet rainy day, influences from R&B with a catchy melody, and it sounds like this. And that's AI doing this. You know, what are we doing? Why have I wasted 15 freaking years? Oh, Marky G's in. How you doing, mate? What's your take on it, Mark? As you know, I'm doing my master's on AI in education. Yes. I would love to get you on the show at some point if you want. We need to meet up for our back-to-back anyway, don't we? Okay, Ben says it's scary. I think for me personally, we have this in a few different areas already. Now, I've always been an FL Studio girl, but I was forced to use Ableton when I was doing my university BA honours in music production. And I really, really love Ableton. We made devices in Max for Live. It's got things in it which kind of is reminiscent of similar to what AI does, because I'll always use these kind of things for inspiration and then do my own thing. But it might give me an initial idea. It might give me like a focal point. In the same way as like on Ableton, a randomizer would do that, or using an arpeggiator. So we've always had arpeggiators on synths. And a lot of them can give you rhythmic ideas of stuff that you might not have thought of yourself. Another one that I was looking at the other day, let me just find it now in my installers. XLN Online, XLN Audio, XLN Audio. Life, it's called Life. Now this, I'll show you a picture of it. It's you can get a download for it, just to test it out. But these are the kinds of things that are going to give you really good ideas, and stuff that you might not think of yourself. So this is this. I can't even scroll down on here. I don't know why has it been a dick? Hang on, if I put the width to, what am I in? $90. What am I streaming in? 1280. What am I streaming in? 1080. 1080. So height. Oh fucking hell! Can't remember. I'm so dyslexic. Okay, so this is a little bit bigger, so you can see it here. So this is what it looks like. But I mean, I can't show you at the moment because it's not letting me. You're gonna. We've got like a little demo. Oh, there's me. Hello. I need like a little video. I need like a little video of it. But trust me, this is the kind of thing that you want to be looking at for like little ideas. For rhythms and, just general getting yourself off the starting blocks, which can sometimes be the hardest thing in music production. Hi, Tash. I'm just going to read up the messages. There are many benefits to AI, in my honest opinion. At the moment, it can't replicate human emotions as it's all zeros and ones and data, and that's the big problem. Yeah, again, when it comes to art, it's the human behind it that you're investing in, isn't it? When it comes to your music that you buy from an artist, cooking. A chef, he's using the same ingredients as everyone else. But what is that 1% that they're putting into it that is completely different to me making it and a Michelin star chef doing it? And it's that 1% that we need to remember that's important. Authenticity, originality, everything's inspired by something at the end of the day. But yeah, I don't think it's something that we need to be scared of. And I think that it's something that will balance itself out along with, I don't remember this, but many years ago, there was a similar issue. Even now in the Musicians Union, they still have a problem with synthesizers, musicians that use synthesizers, because of the work that it took away from orchestras and stuff. So if you think that far back and how things have progressed, and we've kind of normalized using electronic music now in many forms, but before that, in adverts, in films, it would all be done live, and now things have changed, and it's just progress, isn't it? For most, AI comes from a positive perspective. When AI falls down, is from interpretivist perspective. I don't even know what that word is, Mark. I'm going to have to look that up. I think you're making that up. You and your big words. Look at you. The definition of interpretivism is a sociological method of research in which an action or event is analysed based on the beliefs, norms and values of the culture of the society in which it takes place. Okay, I get it. Yeah. So it's a cultural thing. Yeah. And we have to agree. Oh, just be nice to your toasters. Hi, Lefty. Be nice to your phone. Say thank you to Google. Say thank you to Siri, because one day they might just try and take us all over, and then we're fucked. Hi, welcome to the Demo Drop with me, Amber D. Here's to the future. Control 4 says 1% usually takes 99% of the effort. Yeah. But you know what? This whole struggling artist thing, I really believe in law of attraction, and not in a completely hippie way, but in a mental health way. And these belief systems, these things you get told, and beliefs that you are sold by others, that things need to be a struggle. And I've recently, even more so, corrected my thoughts and my opinions on not necessarily ghost production, but I think we're getting to a time now where, music's suffering in terms of like the quality of it, because everyone's trying to do everything on their own. And years ago, we would have, yeah, exactly, Mark. Years ago, on a record, you would have, and even still, but just not in the hard dance scene, you would have like 5 people working on a record. You'd have a songwriter, composer, singer, mixdown engineer, producer, and maybe some other people, that were all working on this record. And that still happens in a lot of pop music, and the more commercial end of stuff. So my point is, you don't have to struggle. So if AI is going to help you in some way, you'll know, because you'll know if you put any effort into it. But do you know what? I really think that people will want to look under the hood when it comes to music production. Eventually, you will go, why is my synth doing this? How can I reverse engineer it back to its very basic waveforms, and find out, and in order to be able to do that every single time in a track, and be able to have more control over the sounds and the sound design and shaping your sounds. But I don't think it needs to be really, really hard. I suffered greatly for the first 4 years of music production, because I was so hell-bent on not using any samples. Everything had to be from scratch, and I had to make all of my sounds on my synths from scratch. I wouldn't use any presets. And you know what? It all sounded shit. Yeah. It sounded awful. because I realised I needed help from elsewhere. I needed to use samples in order for, especially in hard dance, for it to sound authentically that style of music. And it's okay to use presets, but at least knowing how to make them yourself it is important. But I went very, very deep down the rabbit hole for about 4 years. And it's nice because knowing about synthesis is massively helpful, and I do enjoy that. But I just think if people don't have enough time to mess around and do that, then don't make it too hard on yourselves. The real thing, let me just read these and then we'll get stuck in. I mean, Whitney Houston didn't write any of her songs. Yeah, that's a good point. We don't really think about it in terms of singers. And you know what? The other thing as well is a lot of people who are very, very good at making music, they're also neuroatypical. They might not want the limelight, but they just want to make music, so for other people, and not worry about, having the fame aspect of it. That's that to me is a kind of truer form of being an artist as well, is just the love of doing it, with no need for any external gratification for it. Mark says, the real thing we have to consider is the people who don't have good computers or access to the net, and this will create an equality divide. Mate, that's a good point, because as you probably know, I do work with Last Night DJ, Saved My Life, and we were working in Sierra Leone last year with equipment that we took out there. So they had controllers, they do have some internet connection, but you're completely right, they don't have a really good internet connection in Sierra Leone. That is something that I hadn't really thought about. It will create an equality divide. Cool. Okay, so let's get on with the very first track. Today we have got Twiddle and the Brain, Control 4, Pattern Perception, Petch 1212, Ben Critic featuring Blue Eyes, Gav Creighton, DJ Murph, and Medicine Man, TJ, and Gareth Murphy. Not necessarily in that order, but yeah, let's start with Twiddle. This is Twiddle and the Brain. Is this like Pinky and the Brain? Do you remember that? It's Pinky and the Brain. God, they just don't make cartoons like that anymore. Okay, Twiddle and the Brain. Find the spark. Let's go.
It is music. My spark is music. I know it is. Find the spark.
There we go, Twiddle in the Brain, Find the Spark. So that was done with Twiddle's son as well, which is amazing. It's always my favourite thing when my kids will get in the studio with me and we'll make a tune together. Yeah, it's lovely. It's great to try and get them involved in it as well and get them from a young age to be inspired and to start it up at a young age. I really like this. I know like some of your other stuff, Twiddle, is like groovy techie house kind of thing, and that element is definitely still deeply embedded in this with the groove. But as Marky G said as well, it was very psytrance-y in areas as well, which I kind of like the fact that you are blurring these boundaries and not being scared to put elements that might be considered to be from one genre and putting them in here. There's something very innocent about that and very playful, which again is probably a lovely symptom of the fact that you're doing it with your son. I know for a fact when I do stuff with my kids, anything of worry of, oh, is this going to fit, just goes out the window. You know, they make their decisions and we'll make it work. Yeah, it is. It's very unique, and I really liked it. Marky G said as well he liked the arrangement on it. And you've just said in the chat on Twitch that this has been signed to an Anomaly. I can't speak today. Anomaly. Anomaly. Which is great. So there you go. And how wonderful. Thank you for sending it in, mate. Next up, we've got Control 4 Magnetar.
While it remains a burden assiduously avoided, it is not unexpected and thus not beyond a measure of control, which has led you inexorably here. You have many questions, and though the process has altered your consciousness, you remain irrevocably human. Ergo, some of my answers you will understand. Concurrently, while your first question may be the most pertinent, you may or may not realize it is also the most important.
There we go. We've got Control 4, Magnetar. I know this track's already out. And guys, if you want to support Control 4, please go and buy this track now on Beatport. I've put the link in the chat. I really like it. Now I know that this track is already out. So it's obviously been signed and it's been good enough to release. There are some things that I expected from it that didn't happen, which I think, you know, when you finish a track, we do like a self-evaluation quite, subconsciously. And we're like, okay, so what would I do different next time? So if this was, and I'm talking subjectively here, but also from the point of view as someone on the dance floor and a DJ, because I need to really get into a track. I will not play stuff that I don't believe in. And what I was expecting from this was a bit more movement on, let's go back to this part here. That line there, that top melodic line. I would have liked to have seen that come out more, maybe with a bit more movement, opening up the low pass or high pass. I always get this the wrong way around. Opening up the high pass filter, setting a high pass filter, and slowly bringing it up, and also having the sound evolving and changing by using a phaser, perhaps something like that. It just felt like it could go somewhere else. Then layer it up, maybe take it up an octave. I would like to hear that pluck being made a bit more of a big deal out of, because I really like that melody of it. So I think that could be developed on a little bit further. Something I really loved about this, I loved the little flicks in your bass line. On that running bass line where I feel like I know the bass line, like I know the pattern in the back of my head, and then you'll just throw in like an octave up or a harmonic note, and I love that. And that is it's something that's very synonymous with psytrance, and it just gives a moment. It gives us that hit of dopamine, and it keeps the listener locked in. Just the tiniest thing like that, and you've absolutely nailed it. Totally nailed that. So yeah, I liked it. The other thing as well, I had to cut it a bit short because the whole thing's 8 minutes long. I do think you could say what you want to say a tiny bit sooner. Hi Zoe, how you doing, babe? It could be condensed a little bit. Maybe that's an ADHD thing, but yeah, it's eight minutes. It would be an absolute solid. Do you know, it's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to have, because if you've got 8 minutes, and there are moments in this track, there's at least 3 big moments in this track, whittling it down a little bit and just shortening some of those sections, maybe dropping the last breakdown. Just, you only need one breakdown really, in my humble opinion, or a smaller 8-bar break at the end or something. But honestly, all in all, it's a great piece of music. So you got the job. Woo! Big hello to Zoe Hart there. Hello everyone else in here. Tony, you are so welcome, mate. Thank you so much. It's such a vulnerable thing to let people listen to your music, especially in an environment where you're going to get feedback online as well. But one thing I'm extremely strict on is there is no shit talking here. You know, you've been brave enough to let us listen to this, and it is a very vulnerable thing. I used to hate it. I used to hate people listening to my music. And when I used to let people listen, I would talk all the way over it. Just go, oh, that bit needs to change. I know that bit's shit. And they're like, just shut up. Let me have a fucking listen to it. God's sake. Hi, Tim. Hi, Ricky. But yeah, and it's really important that you know that my opinions aren't necessarily the right opinions, unless it's a technical thing. And if it's something technical, it's really out. Like if it's a timing thing, if it's a harmonic thing, or if it's something structurally wrong in terms of beats, bars, phrases, then that's what I call technical advice. Anything else will just be preempted with, this is just a subjective opinion of mine. Because, you know, whenever any artists are listening to other people's music, we're always thinking about it from our own perspective. It is hard to put your stuff out there, Mark. It is. But you have to let it go. At some point, you just have to let it go and not need external validation for it, which is difficult. It is very difficult. Like I've really enjoyed just going back to doing stuff for the love of just doing it, and it's easy then. But then it's very quick to overthink it, very very quick. But just keep doing it. You're gonna make shit stuff. You've got to make shit stuff to make good stuff. Jordan Peterson says it very well. He says you have to be brave enough to look like a fool. Because everyone's a fool when they start. Everyone. Anything that requires a long time to master it, whatever it is, we're all fools in the beginning. We're all crap at it. And you have to be okay with that. Get outside your comfort zone. But yeah, keep it up, mate. And guys, if you can go and give him a follow, and you can re-listen to the track as well on his SoundCloud. There you go. Okay, next I'm going to do Ben's track. Ben Critic. We've got a bit of a backstory to this as well. So Ben Critic featuring Blue Eyes right beside me. The original song goes out to everyone. This is his words. Everyone that has ever lost somebody that they love. I wrote this song with Steve Waterfield Ward back in 2021 after Wayne Donnelly and Steve's dad tragically passed away. It was a really emotional time for us both, so we have literally put our hearts and souls into it. Not many people know, but I had a pretty hard time after Wayne passed away. Not only had I lost a good friend, my inspiration and my hero, but Wayne and I had produced a number of original tracks together with plans to release a new Twister album. I had been following him since I was a young raver, and having him believe in me and even push me was nothing short of a dream come true. And then he ends with, love you, Wayne, for everything that you've done for me, even before we became friends. So this is a track that is already out. Pre-order is live on Beatport. It was out on the 19th of Jan. I'll put the link to that in the chat. So Ben says it's been signed to Clubbed Up. Brilliant. That's Stephen Brett's record label, isn't it? Club Filler. That's brilliant. Hi, Jew. Yeah, how lovely. Yeah, it's Club Filler. Cool. I'm gonna play this now, and then I'm gonna find the link. So if you guys want to go and buy it, then please do.
just wanna let you know that there's no place you'll ever go. And when I'm feeling all alone, I know you're right beside me, beside me. You say it ain't so. Some emotions, they will grow. And when I'm feeling all alone, I know you're right beside me, beside me. You're right beside me, beside me. You're right beside me, beside me. If you ever they will grow. When I'm feeling all alone, I know you're right beside me, beside me. If you ever
my workout for the day. Mate. True alchemy. True alchemy. Taking something, very, very sad life situation that everyone can relate to this feeling when we lose someone close to us. And this is the great thing about being creative in whatever endeavor it is you ever want to do it in. To be able to create a catalyst and express emotion in a positive way. And that's what being an artist is all about. And that really helps us to process the trauma and process the emotion, along with loads of other things. It's, very similar to, when we try and evade, disassociate from our feelings, crying. It all becomes lodged in the body. It becomes stress, and then it becomes illness. And to be an artist and to express yourself in whatever, it could be poetry, it could be a dance, it could be laughing, it could be talking about that person and having a laugh with people, that knew that person. All of that is processing it. And I'm so proud of you, mate. I really am. What did you say? I cried so much making that song. Good. I'm glad. The tears do stop eventually. I promise you that they do, but you have to let them out. And you can siphon off these kinds of life situations in so many ways. Personally, I've done it through poetry, and Guy has done as well. And through music, making music, dancing. Sometimes a bit of painting as well. And they do offer these kinds of therapies, like if you have a breakdown or whatever, they having pets, all of these things. And it's funny how making music or being artistic is intrinsically linked to our mental health. Really, really is. And yeah, I am so proud that you've been able to take such a devastating loss and make it into a beautiful piece of music, because that's going to be there forever. They have a thing called neurolinguistic programming, and it has something in there that's called reframing. So reframing is taking a terrible, traumatic experience that we might have been through and reframing it by doing something great on that date. Like for me today, like it's my mum's death day. She died 24 years ago today. But one of the things that gets me through those days is to do something good for other people or for myself. And that's how you process it. That's how you get through these things. But it's actually you're just doing it naturally. You're naturally creating a song because it makes you feel better. But in psychological terms, reframing is an actual thing to do in order to, number one, not hate these dates that might be coming up, or have this terrible pit of sorrow, because that won't be there anymore. You've alchemized it. Yeah, so I'm really proud of you, mate. Can everyone please go and buy this song, please? If you don't, I'm gonna scream. Don't test me. Thank you, Ben. Hello to Leanne as well. Next up, we've got Pattern Perception. This is called Too Little, Too Late. Now, Pattern Perception is a friend of mine for a very, very long time. And he started sending music into the demo drop, and he was like, "Oh, I'm not sure. I don't know if it's like ready." And I'm like, "You crazy? This stuff's amazing." And now he's making music very regularly, and he's signed to labels. This is what blows my mind, Mark, is the amount of really, really talented artists that we have on this show. So many of you guys have then started collabing with each other. You have been signed to labels. I've sometimes signed some of your stuff. And if at the very least it's given you this confirmation that yes, you are ready. But it's so crazy to me that, you know, you don't know. You don't realize how good you are. And that's why I'm so happy we have this show. Okay, here we go. Too little, too late. Wow. Didn't think he was good enough. What the fuck? Synapse Audio. Okay, we'll have a look at that in a sec, Mark. Yeah, I have nothing but praise for this. The that bass, like the Reese bass on that, is just so buttery. It's so nice, and the simplicity yet complexity of the drums and the hi-hats and just the way that it's all been laid out, and the lovely vocal hits as well. It's just so nice. Marky G says, such a sexy track. There you go. Music to have sex to. That could be the name of your album, Dave. You are so welcome. Shout out to David Lefty in the Facebook chat there, aka Pattern Perception. So proud of you. You're going to be responsible for a lot of babies. You're going to have to start paying child support. Oh my God. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I'm the same, Mark. Beautiful track, 10 out of 10. Yeah, really, really good. As well as all the other tracks as well that I've heard from you. So, Mark E.G. has just said he's been having a look at a synth called Synapse Audio.
Hello YouTube. Welcome to a new synth.
Best analog emulation ? Let's have a quick look at this. I'm going to share the... Yeah, no horns, Eric. Sorry. I turned them off because this goes onto YouTube. You know, like, because people's music's been played on it, and I forget to turn off the channel point redemption things. So let's just have a quick look at this. 1920 by 1080. That's my resolution. I've remembered now. And then if I bring it up here, make it a bit smaller, and then make it a bit bigger. Okay.
On the best analog sounding sound. Legend is based on the structure of a Moog Mini Moog and comes with 3 oscillators, which can be used as standard oscillators or also as LFO. Then you have a mixer section for all 3 oscillators, a feedback drive section with a noise generator, then a 12 and 24 dB low pass filter with a filter envelope. At the bottom you have the amplifier envelope. On the top you have the controls for pitch bend and mod wheel, then for the modulation and tuning, then also an effect on and off, because you have on the back panel a reverb and delay unit. Additional to these controls you have a second page where you can dive in deeper in the character of the synth. Here you can change the behavior of the filter, the amplifier or the oscillator. In the next step I give you a simple sequence of notes for demonstrating the Legend. Please leave in the comments below what you think about Legend. Is it a perfect emulation of an analog synthesizer?
Yeah, that's nice. You can hear it on the harmonics. And it's not losing bottom end. Reminds me a bit of Diva. Nice. Yeah, I like that. I like the idea of that a lot. I have a Moog. I have a mini Moog that's set up on my DJ setup at the moment. But and when you plug it in with it's got a Miniature editor with it, and it has like even more parameters under the hood that you use alongside it when it's plugged into the computer. But I'd like to see what that's like, because it is a bit of a ball ache setting up analog stuff when you're doing music production. I love doing it with my hybrid stuff when I'm doing when I'm DJing and having it on there, but I keep it on there because it's all hands on. But yeah, I'm gonna download that. I hope they've got like a free trial. So that was Synapse Audio. I'll leave the link in the chat for everyone as well. What was it called? Legend. The Legend. Yeah, you get a demo. There is a demo version, so you can have a little play around with it as well. Yeah, Diva can be CPU hungry, but yeah, like what Mark E.G. said, basically. For those of you that are interested as well, myself and Marky G are going to be doing a back-to-back at Rejuvenation in March. What date is it? We're going to be doing... Imagine how chaotic it's going to be. I feel so sorry for the person who's going to be on after us. It is Rejuvenate 9th of March. 9th of March. So come and watch us slay. Do you know what the really messed up thing is about all of this as well? Is me and Mark do all of this sober. It just looks like we're on drugs. And then when we're at home, like when I'm not doing this and when I'm not performing, I am really quiet. I'm still me, but I'm definitely not like that. And I know Mark's the same as well. It's mental, literally. But I think there's something really important to kind of say about that as well, because if it's going to be, you've got to have a design for life. So drugs and partying, if you're going to be a DJ, an artist or whatever, it is a slippery slope, and I've been there. Mark's been there. So, you know, it's not because we're saying it because we're better than anyone at all. We just suffered enough pain, and I think when you've suffered enough pain with it, you find a way to be able to do it and do it in a healthy way, and then it becomes preferable. But it's crazy how it creeps up on you, because eventually you think you need to have a drink to perform, or you think you need to have a bump, and it really isn't that. It really isn't that at all. Yeah, but I wouldn't shut up when I came to the studio. I was excited to see you. You were talking to me as well. I couldn't have a conversation on my own. Jeez. You had us like sitting on bouncy balls. Mind you, it was actually good for my back. I've still not got one though. So in Mark's studio, he's got like these gym balls that he sits on. He's like, these are really good for your back, because I'm sat down all the time, because it forces you to use your abs. And he's completely correct, but I'm just too lazy. Right, next up we have got Petch 1212, and this is Bass Bomb. Yeah, you had some gym balls, bouncy ball. You know what I mean, gym balls. Yeah, and there's a good saying as well on that, a Natalie Moll. Hope I don't mess it up. Something along the lines of addiction is just unresolved trauma. Addiction is unresolved trauma. And I really like that because I feel that that's true. I really do, because why would there be an addiction if you weren't trying to dissociate or run away from something? You know, it really makes a lot of sense to me that when I look back and I look at the times where I had an addictive personality, wasn't able to say no, I didn't have strong boundaries. It was absolutely interlinked with mental health, 100%. Remember, guys, as well, if you ever want to have a chat about anything mental health related, I'm a qualified mental health first aider. Please get yourselves into the Discord. I'll put the link in the chat for you all. So we have a really great Discord section on there. And of course, you're free to talk in the chat anytime. And if we're not online, then you can, of course, join the Discord and go to the mental health section. We have a rant section in there. We have an appreciation section in there where you can just say about anything that you feel appreciative for that day, which massively helps your mindset. And please just keep talking. You're amazing, Mark. Takes one to know one. Next up. So Petra's like, just shut up, play my goddamn tune. Here we go. This is Petch 1212 and this is Bass Bomb.
I'm on the go, so we'll make the whole crowd crazy. Cause we rock the show, and yes, you know that I will blow with a big bass bomb. Damn, I'm on the go, so we'll make the whole crowd crazy. Cause we rock the show, and yes, you know that I will blow with a big bass bomb, bomb, bomb. Damn, I'm on the go, so we'll make the whole crowd crazy. Cause we rock the show, and yes, you know that I will blow with a big bass bomb. Damn, I'm on the go, so we'll make the whole crowd crazy. Cause we rock the show, and yes, you know that I will blow. Damn, I'm on the go, so we'll make the whole crowd crazy. Cause we rock the show, and yes, you know that I will blow with a big bass bomb. Damn, I'm on the go, so we'll make the whole crowd crazy. Cause we rock the show, and yes, you know that I will blow with a big bass bomb, bomb, bomb. I'm on the go, so we'll make the whole crowd crazy. Cause we rock the show, and yes, you know that I will blow with a big bass bomb. Damn, I'm on the go, so we'll make the whole crowd crazy. Cause we rock the show, and yes, you know that I will blow with a big bass bomb, bomb, bomb. Damn, I'm on the go, so we'll make the whole crowd crazy. Cause we rock the show, and yes, you know that I will blow with a big bass bomb. Damn, I'm on the go, so we'll make the whole crowd crazy. Cause we rock the show, and yes, you know that I will blow with a big bass bomb, bomb, bomb.
There we go. That is Petch1212 Bass Bomb. Get following on Facebook. Bassline Bounce is the page. So I think the ideas in this are really good. The sounds are authentic to this genre, bounce. All of that's perfect. It definitely needs a mix down. Stuff's peeking out or isn't loud enough. Mainly, I have an issue with that kick. Like the first two things I'm going to listen for as a DJ and in my own music is my kick and bass the best it can be. Like the best it can be. And a lot of the time that will only happen through a lot of trial and error, A-Bing stuff, shaping the sounds. So Mark said the siren needs to come out. Perhaps a little thin. So I said, yeah, so perhaps a little thin too much EQ off them or off the kicks. It sounds like the kick needs shaping or it needs layering or it needs to be shortened a little bit. But it definitely needs to be brought up in the mix. Because it's sounding flaccid at the moment. It's sounding like, and you need it. You want some knock on it. You want a click. It needs mid and possibly shaping with EQ, with a notch curve, and just find that resonant frequency spot where it's hitting and it's coming out. And yeah, flaccid, yeah. It's a flaccid kick. But don't think that means that the track's shit, because it's not. It just, these are things that just take time to get right. And like I said, all of the other elements were brilliant. It reminded me of Reflex, his bounce. Yeah. Mark says, take the decay down to like 200 milliseconds on the kick and it'll leave space for the bass. There you go. And it needs some Viagra. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's very Reflex, especially like that. I really like it, and I really like I said, I like the sounds that you're using in there. I really think that you could go back into this, give it a fresh mix down. What I tend to do is I start with everything at 0, or I'll sort out my bus groups first. So I'll get the percussion sitting. I'll pan a little bit with stuff. I won't really do EQing till later on, but if everything's sitting nicely, I'll start with my kick, get it around about -6, and get the bass so the bass is roundabout, if not just tickling, -6, and then all of my other sounds have got to be under the kick and the bass. In terms of volume. Subject to terms and conditions. These are not hard, fast rules. It's just what I'm saying in terms of for this type of music. But yeah, this is a good point actually. When you listen to people's advice, always check out what kind of producer or artist they are. If they're more to do with live bands and stuff that they say might not work exactly right in your world. I know Mark actually, there was a situation a while ago where Mark was talking about don't worry about stuff going into the reds on Ableton and stuff. And some people would say that is an issue. Whereas I know where Mark's coming from on that. What happened this weekend? I remember ages ago you had that kind of, yeah, this is why it's important to to take what other people say with a big pinch of salt, especially even me. Even me. It's really important. Make up your own mind and find out for yourself. Don't take anyone's word. Yeah, it matters on the master. Exactly. But yeah, it's one of those things where you're gonna be introduced to people who are gonna say no. It's so weird because you have to work through people's ego a lot, and a lot of people that have been doing it a long time can be quite set in, and also people that don't know a lot. People that don't know a lot about music production are probably the worst because they want to sound like they know a lot, and but then they'll double down on it. So just always say thank you. I'll take that into consideration and just find out for yourself. Gav, try refreshing. Oh, it will be because you can see it here, but we're on Facebook as well. So you probably won't see Marky G's talking, but you will see it here. There. So yeah, we're on 2 platforms at the moment. Yeah, ego is a big thing in music production because people put a lot of time and investment into the way that they do things. And if you can say, well, actually, I like using LFO tool to carve my kick on my bass. And they're like, yeah, you should be doing it all yourself by shaping your sounds using the release and decay and timing it, and it's like, okay, well, that's how you want to do it. I might not want to do it that way, but you might want to do it later on down the line. Don't have to do everything straight away. You don't have to do everything straight away. It's up to you. But you'll never get bored of music production. It's a lifelong learning curve. And also it's not as difficult as it is in the beginning forever. Once you get past a few of the hurdles, eventually it can still be taxing, and some days it'll work better than others, but it won't always be as difficult than it is when you first start learning to produce and you're making your first few tracks. It will get, as long as you are consistent with it. Next up we have got Gav Creighton, who has done a remix of Hans Zimmer Stay. Sorry. I was just saying, I really, really do like this track. And I know you've called it Stay, but that melody, is it from Interstellar? Because I'm sure Guy's used it. Like that in one of his tracks. And the great thing about it, because it's such a simple melody, it works in so many ways. You've called it Hans Zimmer Stay. But I really like what you've done with it. Yeah. So, it's from Interstellar. Oh, okay. So it's cool. I didn't know that. Cool. Yeah, I really liked it. I was expecting maybe another top melody line in there. You know, like after the main break, you've got 32 plus 32. And then the dun, 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 dun came in. But we had at least, I think it was 2 sections of 32 where nothing changed. It was just 2 sections of 32. And it's not a problem because it's a really, really good track. But this is probably just a subjective thing. I was expecting something to come in like on the next 16 after the 16 bars. And then when nothing came in after 32, and then it was another 16 and another 16. So it was 2 sets of 32, and then we had the little dun 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 come in. I think there could be something more that you could put in there. And obviously not for this track because this track's probably done for you now. But there could be something else that could be offered in that section. Maybe in terms of a slight emulation on the riff, like a bit of a evolving of that riff, another layer. Gav says, I thought that after putting it out, lol. Well, I'm glad we're on the same lines. It's not something that would be noticeable to us. This is again why it's important to get other people to listen to stuff. And like I said, it's not a bother. It didn't make it boring, but I was expecting something else to come in there. Yeah. Oh, Mark's just said, yeah, possibly take something out. Yeah, you could actually have a short breakdown in there, or even drop it down to kick and bass, and like the runner bass that you've got in there. Yeah, that's a good point that Mark's making there about taking stuff out is sometimes the better option than adding something else. I agree, but it in no way, shape or form stopped me from enjoying it. It was it's a really, really nice piece of work, and you should be very proud of yourself, mate. Thank you for sending it in. Next we have got DJ Murph, and this is Snipes and Murph Air Trance Mix. You are so welcome, Gav. Hello, David Marsh. How you doing? Right, here we go.
You hold me every time we kiss. Words cease to exist. Every day, the same story. I'm trying hard to say, but words won't come my way. I can give you the moon, I can bring you the sun. It's not the same, you're not just anyone. I can give you the moon, I can bring you the sun to show you my love, but it's not enough. How can I tell you you're everything? You're everything. You are the world to me. How can I tell you you're everything? You're everything. You are the air that I breathe.
So what did you guys think of that Snipes and Murph air trance mix? It definitely is air trance, and I like that terminology for this style. And it's getting a massive resurgence at the moment. This style of like Euro trance, air trance, 90s trance is getting really popular again. I've heard some good ones and I've heard some not so good ones. And I really like this one. I do really like the ideas in this. Mark is saying, I like this. It's not sharp enough. So there's a lot of reverb on stuff. Yeah, there is a lot of reverb on stuff. And the problem with having a lot of reverb means things can get washed out. Especially on vocals or even on synths. Sometimes it's good to use a delay or a reverb that ducks when the transients are hitting, and it allows for a much cleaner effect so things don't get drowned out. Chris says, Marky G said, and it's sucking in the wrong places, so that's down to the kick and bass not working. Okay, so maybe there could be some... Let's have a quick listen again to the kick. Okay, so you've got two layers there. You start off with the one layer. Yeah, maybe rein in that tail on the kick a little bit. But if you were looking for that gated effect, but in this style of 90s trance, air trance, you wouldn't probably use that kind of a kick, because that kind of a kick is more like a a clubby kick or hard trance kind of a kick because of that gate on it. But if you like the click and the layers that you've made, then you can just tail it in. You could use an LFO tool. What's the one I use? Cable Guys Sound Shaper Box. Or of course just fiddle around with the release in the sample. I don't know how you've set this up in whatever DAW that you've done, but yeah, you could. Mark said use kick 2, it'll be cleaner. You could still keep the style, but knock the dry wet back. Yeah, cool. Chris says an original melody is tricky to nail nowadays. Don't try to be too original then. Just take inspiration. Just honestly, it's, and don't listen to me or do listen to me, but my opinion today, and this will probably change at some point, is it's going to be really difficult to be completely original. Because you've only got so many keys and harmonic notes of a root note of a scale that you're working with, and yeah, everything's probably already done in a lot of ways. But just learn your music theory, and don't be afraid to experiment. That goes for music and in life. Use kick 2. It'll be cleaner. I use kick 2. In fact, sometimes when I've had issues with my kicks, because I like just layering loads of kicks, and like I love spend hours fiddling around with. I use Phalanx as my sampler, and it's amazing because everything's all in one VST, so I can put as many layers as I want. Individually, I've got effects for all of them: saturation, multiband saturation, compression, amp, EQ, but it's all in one thing. And it's so easy for me just to like sit there and do phase inversion as well. All those things that help in getting layers of kicks locked in and sounding massive. And then sometimes I'll be there for ages. It's just not working. And a guy will come down and be like, oh, show me what you've been up to. And I'll show him. He's like, you need kick 2 on that. And then we'll just find like techno. It's a preset. And it just fucking works. Like, damn it. But yeah, kick 2 is great. Kick 2 is your friend. But yeah, just do what you want with it. Like, I like it. I had a huge talk with someone, and the whole key is keep it simple, stupid. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm not going to listen to that though. I've got better at it. I've got better at not overcomplicating things now, because it's eventually you're like, do you know, I just want to get it done. I just want to finish the track, and you will dilly dally, and sometimes that's lovely. Like, it's so nice sometimes if I get a few days off to myself, I can spend as much time as I want in my studio and just mess around. Click buttons. Don't worry about it. You can always, like, you're not going to break it. You're not going to break your DAW. Yeah. Oh, is it Wayne? Is it your track? You got so many different names. It's Wayne B Bouncing Forces. Cool. Yeah, I'd say it's really nearly there, but I really like it, and I think it's good that you're doing this style of like 90s air trance, as you call it, and I love that genre name. Punchbox. I have Punchbox. It sounds rude, that, doesn't it? Punchbox. Anyway, moving on. Next, we have got Medicine Man. Dopamine deficiency. Here we go. Thanks for sending that in, Wayne. Yeah, dopamine deficiency. Here we go.
That I've essentially reset my brain to what we call like an anhedonic or lacking in joy type of state, which is a dopamine deficit state. The way in which pain can become the main driver is because I've indulged so much in these high reward behaviors or substances that my brain has had to compensate by way downregulating my own dopamine such that even when I'm not doing that drug, doing that drug. More friction. Like they're unhappy, not necessarily because there's something wrong with their brain. Their brain is not suited to this world. We're so basic in our narrative now. Find your passion, in a way that's good. Because it has people out in the world and seeking. But in a way, it can also be misleading in the sense that I think people aren't entirely aware that the world is a hard place and that life is hard and that we're all kind of making it up. To me, one of the most significant findings in neuroscience in the last 75 years is that pleasure and pain are co-located, which means the same parts of the brain that process pleasure also process pain. A reset of physical need. Type of state, which is a dopamine deficit state. For example, people without it gives people kind of a way to imagine what they're experiencing parts of the brain. And they work like a balance. So when we feel pleasure, our balance tips one way. When we feel pain, it tips in the opposite direction. And one of the overriding rules governing this balance is that it wants to stay that way. Dopamine deficit state. to it, you can see it a lot. And when we can see it, I think it gives people kind of a way to imagine what they're experiencing. That I think people aren't entirely aware.
I really love this. This is the kind of psytrance that I love to listen to, especially in certain frames of mind. It really reminds me, you know, the vocal in there that's just talking and talking and talking. In those moments when I like to listen to psytrance in a certain frame of mind, and it's very, very good for me to get myself in those places. I can hear a monologue. I mean, we all have a monologue, right? And especially with like psilocybin therapy, there's definitely an amplification of the monologue that comes forward in the brain. And that's what it reminded me of. It reminded me so much of the talking, the noise that's on in our heads all the time. And like, what do you think about that? And I loved that being introduced into this. In that kind of a way, it was really like it was really relatable. I love all of the noises in there, and like the subtlety, and also the full onness of it as well. Yeah, I really like it. Don't think there's anything I'd change about it. It's not a style of music that I've ever tried to make or could make. I think it's a very intelligent type of music. I would probably really enjoy making it, actually. But I'm going to steer away from saying anything because I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to this. So Medicine Man says, written, produced and mastered by myself. That's amazing. First time sitting down and producing a track within the space of a few days. Third session in. So am I right in assuming that you're quite new to making music? Because if you are, then that's amazing. If you're coming out with stuff like that already, reminded me of Raja Ram stuff. Nice. Yeah, I really liked it. Really, really liked it. So we got six and a half minutes long. I think that's like a good length. Been doing it a few years now. Cool. Yeah, I was gonna say if it was like third session in, I'm like, oh God, what am I doing wrong? Yeah, that makes sense now. I love how all the sounds all complement each other. It rolls together. Yeah, definitely. The textures were great. yeah, the sound design is fantastic as well, and yeah, I think it's great. Make sure everyone you follow Medicine Man on SoundCloud. Here's a link again. Yeah, I love it. Hi, Jerry. Yeah, thanks for sending it in, mate. Okay, so Marky G sent me a track in. We're going to play this one next. So it's not late. It's not titled yet. But this is something that, and this again, this is what the show is about. It's the demo drop. So although we do listen and take finished music, absolutely, and I will take music that is now released, and plug the release for you, and hopefully get more people to buy it or download it or stream it. The other part of this is a think tank for if you've got to a point in your project and you're like, I don't know where to take it at this point. Not everyone has a Guyver living with them. And I also have a plethora of producer friends that I can just say, can you just have a listen to? You know, I'm very spoiled in that regard. And again, that's why this show's so important, because it's a small community, but I know how much it helps people to get from where they are and you know, give them some kind of focal point and a goal or an idea that can just set off another set of ideas in your own head. Sometimes we just get very stuck in the way that we're doing things, and we're so involved that we can't see, we don't have the perspective that other people's opinions or other people's feedback can give us. Cool. So we are going to listen. It's just one per email, Jerry. So just send one at a time. If you are new to this and you don't know what we're doing, this is the demo drop. The details are up here. Send one track to amberdpromo@gmail.com. Very important. Make sure you head the email demo drop so I know that it's for the demo drop. Very, very important. Please, 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 please don't send me WeTransfer links that will expire, because I've usually got a backlog to go through, which is about 3 weeks at the moment. I'm now up to January the 19th, I think. So we're getting through it slowly, but I had 2 weeks off when I was in Japan, and then when I got back from Japan I was too tired to do the show. So we have got a bit of a backlog. I will contact you when I've listened to the track, and if I think it's not ready to be played yet, I will explain to you why, and I will give you some advice and some feedback of how to get it to a stage where it is ready to be shown. You know, it doesn't need to be like radio ready, but it just needs to be playable and listenable, because we have to think about the viewers as well. And, you know, we can't have something that's going to be 15 minutes of tin cans or something. So I always listen to this stuff first, and then I will give you some feedback if it's not going to be ready for the show yet. But 9 times out of 10 we've always played stuff. So if you are still waiting for a reply, don't worry, I will get back to you. If it's been a month or more, feel free to send another email or bump up the email. That's fine. Don't send by WeTransfer, Jerry. No, unless you have an account with them when where they don't expire, because I won't see the email probably for another 2 or 3 weeks, and usually in that time the link has expired before I've managed to get to it. Very busy person. And if I start looking at emails and then before the date, I'm not going to be able to remember whose stuff I've looked at. So, and I have such a guilt complex and a worry and anxiety around not replying to people, because I know that it's a big thing that you're sending stuff in to be played, and I would never want you to think that I'd listened to it and decided not to get back to you. I wouldn't do that. But yeah, if in the very rare occasion that I might have missed it, please feel that you can feel free to send me another message. And only one track, Jerry. Yes, one track per email. Dropbox, yeah. Anything like that's absolutely fine. And don't forget your SoundCloud or your social media links, because I want to make a fuss out of you and get everyone to follow you. And please label, if you're sending me a WAV or an MP3, don't call it this one final V2, because I won't know that it's from you. And all of this is important for you to remember when you start sending stuff, or you are sending stuff to record labels. Make sure you label the file correctly. And further than that, maybe even go into the metadata and make sure all of your details are in that file. Very, very important, because I'll try and hunt you down and match the file with the email, but a record label won't. They will just go, fuck that. And they won't be bothered about messaging you back or emailing you back if the link's expired either. They'll just be like, next. So good training for all of that as well. So Marky G has sent me a Ujima What's It. It's not mastered yet. I'm just reading his messages here. He said, I've just completed this with Gnostic from Hyperreality. I love Gnostic stuff. We had an amazing 3 days. It's not mastered. We have to do so much to it, but in general, it's kind of there, and we are thinking what to do with it. It might be Hyperreality going on that label. I'm not sure. I'm sure you know Hyperreality. Yes, I do. So yeah, I'll put the volume up a little bit as well. No worries. We set out to make German hard trance thing and also hard techno, but we just did what we felt, and this is the result. I'm really looking forward to hearing this. Hi, Bosky. Okay, let's go.
exploring nature and trying to find hidden data within nature. A subject called cymatics. Cymatics is the process of visualizing sound. And it's like a looking glass into a hidden world. Consider for a moment that sound does have form and that it can affect matter and cause form within matter. Scientifically observe playing through a cymatic device. Cymatics is an almost magical tool. It's like a looking glass into a hidden world.
So before we get into that, I just want to say massive thank you to DJ Asia Mayo for the raid. Thank you so much. Muchas gracias. I hope you had a really good stream. I also want to say thank you to, and guys, please get following DJ Asia Mayo, please. I want to say thank you to Joey for resubscribing, and also to Kane for gifting a sub earlier, to Ben Critic. Thank you guys. You supporting this stream massively helps me to be able to continue to do this. So thank you. But yeah, so we just listened to Marky G's track with Gnostic. So it's a work in progress, and he's decided now it's going to be called Cymatics. I loved the vocal in this. I love the rolling bass line and the psy-trance feel to it. Yeah, I think it's going to go somewhere good. There's that that top line, that top string line. I think I could hear that being gated, layered. And I like the acid, but I think the acid is probably going to be brought out a bit more as well. I'm sure you're going to make something amazing, the pair of you, out of this. But isn't it interesting to see the process of when people work together and collab? Like it's quite, well, sometimes you can get a track done in a day, and then other times you have like your whip, your work in progress. And then you go back and you listen to it on fresh ears a few days later, and then stuff will pop out. Or you come to a channel like this for the demo drop and get ideas off people, and and that will spark your own ideas. It won't necessarily be the idea they've said, but it could just be one word, and it'll just send you off on a tangent on something else. There's been many times someone's mentioned like mid-side EQ to me, and I've gone, oh, I know. I've put too much compression on one of my sounds or something. Like it's literally just having conversations and thinking about it, but not overthinking about it. What did Einstein say? The way to like figure out questions is not by thinking about it. I'm paraphrasing, but it's sometimes the absence of thought that will give the answers to our questions. That's why meditation works so well. I have to stop myself now. Like I meditate usually for 20 minutes in the morning, and I always get really good ideas, and I'm like, oh, I need to write this down now because I'll forget. Yeah, you get your shit out there and listen to critique. Exactly. So, yeah. The number of DJ McDJ Face, hello by the way, says, for fuck's sake, the number of times I've come in here or somewhere similar, read or heard something and gone, bollocks, I wish I'd have thought of that before I released the track yesterday. Yeah. Which is why it's important to sometimes sit back on your laurels. We want to get our music out there straight away, but one of the things I notice with people is I'll get sent something, and they've rushed it, and they want to get it out straight away. It'll be up on SoundCloud, and then I'll go to the link, and the link's not there anymore. And then I'll get another email, and it'll say, no, I've changed a bit now. Here you go. Here's the new one. And then later on, about 2 or 3 in the morning, there'll be another one and another one. So the key is to just hold back on it a little bit. Because we want that dopamine hit of getting everyone to listen to it. But sometimes it's good to like just hold back on that, because otherwise you'll just be making more and more revisions of stuff. Not in this capacity, because obviously this capacity is about the demo drop. So we will listen to works in progress in a view to give creative inspiration, but it's when people have gone, oh, I've finished this now, I'm going to put it out, release it, and then they're like, shit. Because once it's out there, you can't suck it back in. Fully called out here. It's just a learning curve, Alistair. That's all it is. It's Bosky says, when you think a track is ready, wait 2 weeks. Tweaks may be made and then wait 2 weeks more. I like that. For me, it's around the same, and I also like to get someone else to master it. Sometimes I'll ask Guy, or I'll ask Digital Mafia or John Doe, purely because I have a lot of respect for anyone that can do a good job when it comes to mastering. And the other side is it helps me to draw a freaking line under it and move on to the next one. I think if I introduce the need to have to do mastering on top of finishing tracks, it would be very frustrating. So Jerry says, I do all of my own. That's great. That's brilliant. I like using someone else to do outsourcing someone to do the mastering. A lot of the time they might have hardware and ears and knowledge and experience that I don't possess, because mastering is a whole of the ball game. But if you've done a good enough job in the mix down, then T-Rax is great. If once you've got your template set up, or like your settings, and you're happy with it, then that might work for you. But I like to get someone else to do that. I always ask at what they're doing, but in time I'll probably, maybe look at that again. But I don't think that I think it's more helpful for me to draw a line under it and send it to someone else, because then when I get it back, it feels like it's not as connected to me anymore, if that makes sense. When I get it back, it's like it's a finished product and I'm like, okay, it's done. I'm not going to mess with it anymore. I'm going to move on to the next thing. That's why I find it helpful. For me, there are different stages. 1, the creative stage. 2, the geeky stage. Yeah, I agree. I call it blue sky thinking and editing mode. So anything that you can do to keep your workflow really slick, so you're not coming out of creative mode. I think John Cleese said about this. He said, spend time blue sky thinking and putting all the ideas, any ideas, just being messy with it, and then separate that from the editing side of it. And that's I'd say that's kind of like saying exactly what you've said there, Mark, but just in different words. Yeah. I'm mastering a track tonight, says Bosky. It will be done, but I'll wait a few weeks before I do anything with it. If I'm still happy after that, it goes out on mine or offered to other labels. Yeah, I used to master stuff for my labels on like with T-Rax years ago, and it was very light mastering. It was mainly just so that everything on the label would sound exactly the same, but I don't even do that anymore. If it sounds fine the way it is, I'm like, that's great. I'm not going to mess with it. But I think it's very easy to overcook it with mastering if you don't know what you're doing. DJ McDJ Face is working on a big milestone right now. First time doing a serious track with my own vocals on it. Brilliant. You'll get a lot of experience from working with your own vocals, and especially in terms of learning how to set the microphone up, the noise floor, background noise, denoising, compression, manually going through and changing the volume of things, which is again compression, getting things all level. Enjoy that learning curve. The one thing I'll say is make sure that it's as best quality as you possibly can in the beginning, and record in 32-bit floating, because if you record in 32-bit floating, there's no ceiling, so it won't distort. There you go. Top tip for the day. DJ McDJ Faces, I'm used to mixing my own voice for rock and metal projects, but I don't know what hella different doing an EDM project. It'd be brilliant. It will be, like I said, it will be a good learning curve at the very, very least. So it's definitely worth the time and effort in doing that. Next up, we have got, thank you again, Marky G and Nostik, for sending that one in. And I want to hear the finished product, please. Next up, we've got TJ, I'll Be Blue. Yes, May. Really like this. I love the way that you've used Out the Blue and then found a vocal that works over it. And it jumps around a bit, that melody. But it works really well. And with the bass progression as well. Nice work. Nice work. I've not heard that vocal before, so I don't know if that's like a new one or like something from yesteryear or yestermillennia. But I really liked it and I loved how it worked. This is perfect for bounce, finding an a cappella. And yeah, it not just like finding an a cappella and whacking it over something else. It's actually good quality bounce, and that's important for this genre. I love my bounce, but there's only a few artists. You'll see me playing the same artists over and over again. Heads Up, who's in the Facebook chat, I've just seen pop up as well. That's Jazz. Oh, you're on Twitch now. Oh, it's really old and the chords are completely different in the original. Wow. That's really cool. Yeah, Marky G doesn't like bounce. Oh, it would be so funny. It would be so funny to see you do a bounce set, mate. But yeah, it doesn't matter if we like a type of genre or not. Like, we can put that aside. Or we should be able to put that aside and see it for the music, the musicality, the quality behind it. In fact, years ago, when we used to get sent 12-inch promos, vinyl, through record labels, and we used to have to fax back the feedback sheet, I used to get sent so much stuff, especially from Holland, the Netherlands, like a lot of tech trance, and then CDs shortly after that. And I didn't play any of that, but I kept hold of all of them because I listened to them and I was like, right, I don't like this style of music, or I don't really get it because I don't play any of it, but I know that this is a good tune. So I'm still going to keep hold of it. And I'm so glad I did, because then years later, a lot of this stuff that I've got, my tech trance, like the promos, you can't get them anymore. Or they were made like by obscure little record labels, and they're not, there isn't even digital copies of them. So that was just a natural subconscious thing in my mind as someone who loves music, that I went, do you know what? It's not something that I'd be playing, but I'm going to keep it with me. I'll keep hold of it. And I've always done that, even with digital music. And so now I have like 20, 25 genres of music that I play, but only because I kept hold of it, because I knew if it was a good track. Like, for example, hardcore. I didn't like hardcore, never understood hardcore until about 5 years ago. And I've already got a lot of hardcore ready for me to play. And Makina's another one. I've started to get really into that as well, but I never used to get it. And now I'm like, this is amazing. So yeah, always try and take away your subjective opinions, or maybe more so than that, recognize that if you don't like something, it might just be because you're not fully engulfed in that scene and that genre yet, but you might be at some point. But yeah, and our tastes change over time as well, weirdly. And it's not weird though, is it? Our taste buds change. Our taste in clothes, our lifestyles change as we get older. So yeah, it would make sense that our taste in music might change as well. So yeah. Thank you, TJ, for sending that in. I need to put that in my promos folder because I'll definitely be playing that. I've got a Rave Kids event this weekend, playing to my favourite demographic, the 18-month to 13-year-olds. They love me. They do. All I need to do to get them on side is this, like, hey, look. Whee! And they're like, wow. I'm like, I know. My kids are like, oh my God, Mummy's so cringe. Thank you, TJ. Okay, and now we have Gareth Murphy, and this is Bad Monday. Shout out to Gareth. Here we go.
These things can take a while on a bad Monday. These things can take a while on a bad Monday. These things can take a while on a bad Monday. These things can take a while on a bad Monday. These things can take a while on a bad Monday. These things can take a while on a bad Monday. These things can take a while. These things can take a while. These things can, 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 these things can take a while on a bad Monday. Can take a while. Can take a while. Can take a while. These things can take a while on a bad Monday. These things can take a while on a bad Monday. On a bad Monday. These things can take a while on a bad Monday.
So it stops quite abruptly at the end there. I hope that's just a clip, because you do say, Gareth, that this track's just finished. It'll be out soon on CM21 Records. Yeah, hopefully it's just because you've just put a clip on SoundCloud. So if not, make sure you re-render that so it's got the outro there as well. I think it's a good start. I know you said that you finished it, and that's absolutely fine. I don't know how long you've been producing for, but it's got all the elements that you need for this style of music. It's probably going to be what you'll be doing on your next tune, is starting to shape your sounds a bit more. There are some areas where you've got some overlap. You can hear it especially near this end bit. I'll just show you.
These things can take a while on a bad Monday.
There's some like flippiness. So Mark says I really like that. So there you go. It could be adding dynamics. Then it could, for me, it would annoy me, and I'd have to go in and shape that out. However, that just confirms that it's subjective feedback, which is a good thing. But yeah, hang on, it's gone. Come back onto the song again. I really like it. I like the sounds that you've used. I really like that vocal. Love the snares. I'd like to hear the kick coming through more, because I could hear the kick on the one, and then as soon as the synths came in. But I'm still getting the bottom end there, so it's nice. It is nice. Good length as well. That's what she said. 4 minutes 19. Yeah. Keep it up, mate. Keep it up. Make more music. Just keep making more and more music. Go, 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 go. Finish stuff off. Dot those I's, mother lickers. Cross those T's. You Jarvis turkey. Get your music finished. Send it into the demo drop. Job's a good un. Bob's your uncle. Fanny's your aunt. And that brings us to the end of yet another demo drop. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for sending your music in. Thank you for being strong enough to be vulnerable and letting us listen. Yeah. Dot those lowercase J's. Exactly. Well done, everybody. Back again next week with another set of tracks. Make sure, if you want to send your music in, send it to amberdpromo@gmail.com. Head that email, demo drop. And then make sure you don't send me a WeTransfer link that's going to expire. Google Drive, Dropbox, SoundCloud is probably the best. You could do like a private one if you don't want to upload it publicly yet. But yeah, thank you, everybody. Yeah, and please just keep creating. It really is the best thing in the world to make something that's never been made before. That's the whole point of being alive, is to create something that has never been done before, and you are the only one who can do it, and that's how important you are. So if you're over on Twitch, I'm going to be raiding you all out now to who should we go and see? Where should we go? I'm sending everyone over to AI Jesus. If you don't know who AI Jesus is, I don't know what to tell you. It's an AI. It's called Ask Jesus. You can ask him anything and he will help you with your problems. I love him. I listen to him for ages. He's the best. Sometimes people like say stuff that like breaks the rules of it, and they get him to say really weird stuff, which is really cool. So you give him prompts and then like he'll talk to you. But yeah, enjoy your AI Jesus. It's my day off tomorrow, so I'll see you on Thursday. Love you guys. Thank you again, everyone. And I will see you on Thursday. Mwah.